I want you to close your eyes right now. I'll do it with you, so please just close your eyes and humor me for a moment. I want you to take a moment and imagine if you could live an ideal life in an ideal future, what would that look like? I'm not talking about what would happen if you won the lottery and you had so much money you didn't know what to do with it. What I'm talking about is if tomorrow you woke up feeling as good as you could possibly imagine with the life that you have, that the problems that you had yesterday are no longer there, what would that look like? What would that feel like? If you no longer were dealing with that day-to-day stress that you are dealing with today, and you're just trying to get through on a day-to-day basis. If you have that vision, then go ahead and open up your eyes. My name is Liz. I'm an epidemiologist, a plant-based nutrition specialist, and a health coach. What you just saw, this future that you imagined if your problems from today were no longer problems, that is the basis of what we call the wellness vision. And in this video, I am going to walk you through the steps of how we can create a wellness vision together. As a health coach, this is a tool that I use all the time with my clients. In fact, it is one of the very first things that we do on day one is establish what is your wellness vision. The reason we do this is because a wellness vision is really, really important. We all know that when we are trying to make some sort of a change in our life, whatever that might be, there are hard days. They come inevitably for all of us. You don't have to be struggling in your life or to even go to a health coach in order to benefit from having a wellness vision. This tool is incredibly helpful for those days when you are struggling to feel motivated, because realistically, change is very hard. And everyone, no matter who you are, has those days when you are struggling to find that motivation to keep that change going. Because actually changing your life, you have to put a lot of work into it. It's not easy. If it's going to be a sustainable change, it is usually not easy. And that's kind of the point. This tool is helpful for those moments when you are struggling with your motivation, when you have those days where you're like, this is so hard. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I going through this challenge when nobody else is doing this, when everybody else is just going about their life in the normal way, and I am having to challenge myself in this way? This is for those days and for those moments when you ask yourself, why am I even doing this when it's so hard? And it would be so much easier just to do things the way that I've always done them. And that's when that wellness vision is incredibly important. So in this video, I am going to walk you through step by step how to create a wellness vision and what we can actually do with it. Right now, what I need you to do is to find a piece of paper or something to write on and something to write with. And then I want you to remember that vision that you had, what you were seeing when you closed your eyes and you thought about what life would look like if all of your problems from today were suddenly gone. Maybe you need to pause the video and at this point and write down for me how you felt in that moment. Sometimes this is easier when you use I am statements. For example, I am healthy. I am happy. I am living surrounded by people that I love and who love me. I am successful in my work. I am doing work that feels meaningful and important. I am finding time to enjoy the things that I love. These could be anything. It's really up to you. So now might be a good time to pause the video. I want you to write down whatever comes to mind. Whatever you think, Whatever you imagined when you saw that future, write that down now. Now, let's put that into one cohesive statement. If you've got a bunch of different sentences, figure out how you can combine that into one sentence. So what do you do with this wellness vision now that you've got it? Well, first of all, what I want you to do is write it down on a sticky note or on a piece of paper that you can tape to your mirror or to your refrigerator or somewhere where you can see it every single day. I actually have a couple of wellness visions that I've created for myself, and I have them stuck to my bedroom mirror. And when I pause when I look into that mirror and I read that statement out loud to myself, I've actually got a little chime in my room, and so I will read that statement out loud to myself, and then I will ding that little chime, and it makes me feel so good. It's a good reminder of what I am working towards in my life. So maybe you put yours on your own mirror, chime or not included, but you find your own way to stop and make a moment in your day where you are reminding yourself of what that vision is for yourself. And then what can you do with that from there? Well, the wellness vision is something that we actually want to see through in our lives. We want to see it to fruition. That's the thing that is so important to us, right? So what gets us to that place? Right now, you can pause the video again in just a moment, and I want you to think about what is one thing that you could do that would help you to get closer to that vision. So I'm going to use a personal example here. I signed up for a marathon a couple of months ago, and I actually have been wanting to run a marathon for quite a while. I was supposed to run one last year, but had an injury, and I had to back out of the race. So I have been working my way back towards being in shape to be able to run that marathon. And I signed up for a marathon that I'm supposed to run early next year. That gives me a good amount of time to be able to train for that still. But it's something that is a little scary for me. I don't want to injure myself again and have to back out of another race. But my vision for myself is that I am someone who is strong enough and capable of running a marathon. So what next? How do I actually get myself to that point of being able to accomplish that wellness vision? Well, you have to set yourself a long-term goal. When I am working on long-term goals with my clients, we usually set a goal that is meant to last the amount of time that we're working together. So usually that's a couple of months, let's say 3 or 6 months, for example. And you want to think about what is one thing, one area that you could work on that might help you reach that goal. In this case, with my example of running a marathon, what's one thing that I can do to help me to be in marathon shape? Well, I could work on strengthening my muscles for running that race. I learned when I got injured that I needed to do some more resistance training to strengthen my body outside of just doing my cardio that I was so used to. So that's one thing I've learned I need to work on. So maybe my goal is that over the next 6 months or however long, I am going to work on building a stronger body. Not just running more miles, because that part I can do, but building a stronger body. So pause the video now. And I want you to think about what is that thing that you could do, one thing that you could tackle to help you get closer to that wellness vision. It might not be tackling every single part of what that vision is, but it's one thing that you can do that will help get you closer. Now that you've got your wellness vision and you've got your long-term goal, all that's left are the little steps that are going to help you reach that goal. In my next video, we are going to talk about SMART goals and how they can help you to accomplish your goals in a sustainable way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.